I'm just going to kick us off. So I am so excited to always kind of talk about coaching because I know that this has just totally changed my life. And I always love to be a totally open book because, and I have to apologize, I'm sitting on my bathroom floor. This is where I run all my team calls because we don't have an office. So if you see like my rope hanging, that's part of it. But I had a lot of questions when I first was thinking about coaching. And if you know my story, I was such a creeper on my coach's account literally for 3 months. I didn't even actually hit follow. And I never liked anything and I never commented, but I was really intrigued at what she was doing. And so I know what it's like to have lots of questions. So, but I always like to lead off with coaching sneak peeks to kind of have you just think about, and if you feel comfortable typing it in, and if you're a coach on this call, I would still like type it in too. But kind of share like why coaching, what it is that drew you in. I know for me, what really got me interested in this was the thought of being able to encourage another gal in some really powerful ways, and also being able to bring in an income in a way that would allow me to be more present with my kids, that would allow me to still work and do something I really loved that made an impact, but also could provide for our family. And when I first started, it was like maybe I could earn an extra $50 a week kind of a thing, like just a little bit more, and maybe it could turn into something bigger. There's a lot of times I think where we can kind of think about coaching, or we've seen friends do similar things on social media, where it just sort of seems like we've all seen people do it a really terrible way. And I think that's also where a lot of fears stem from, of like judgment and stuff. So I want to chat about that and ask you, like, as we're sharing tonight, just to kind of put any skepticism or doubt, just like push it to the side a little bit, because this story can be so cool. So what coaches do, what we do, and I'll let you hear from some of our newer gals too, is it's literally first and foremost, we work on ourselves. We commit to our own health and nutrition, we commit to our own workouts, and we start to share that journey publicly. And I don't know of any other coaches on this call, but I know for me, like a prime example is I've always loved working out. I could do burpees till the cows come home. Like I like it. I'm probably weird in that way, but I hated meal planning. Nutrition has always been the hardest thing for me. And I hated it when I started as a coach too. But as soon as I leveled up in that accountability and had people that I needed to lead, all of a sudden those things started to kind of line up a little bit more easily in my life. Kind of like when you teach something, you become a better student of it. Same exact concept. So as a coach, you do not have to be perfect. You do not have to be an expert. I think the title coach in and of itself is a little bit intimidating, when our job is first and foremost just to live our own lifestyle, to influence others in the way that we live, in how we present it, and help them do the same. We don't have to be, I know Sarah is a personal trainer on here, which is incredible, but we don't have to be personal trainers or nutritionists or anything like that. We get to connect people with these incredible programs and experts in their field. And our job is to come alongside and love them and encourage them and motivate them and sort of be their BFF behind the scenes and set that example. And so that's kind of the first thing that we do as coaches. We get our own results and we commit to that and we share that publicly. For most of us, that's going to be via social media. You totally can do stuff in person as well. I'm a big introvert and I'm pretty busy, so I don't like do stuff in my garage with people, but I know lots of coaches who do. But what that looks like is really just starting to share your journey. And this is where a lot of people get a little bit nervous, I know, and it certainly was that for me too, where I had never posted on social media. I've literally never taken a selfie before. I was that girl who maybe posted like every 6 months and it was a picture of my kid and how cute he was, but I was a really good stalker of all my friends. And so that concept was really intimidating. But what I've come to learn is that it's a really neat platform to literally reach hundreds of thousands of people that you wouldn't connect with otherwise. And you can really be a light in an industry that can be incredibly self-focused or dark. And as a part of our team, we teach you how to grow your following. We work with you on your social media to teach you apps. Like those are skills, like if I can learn them, because I started at literally -0, anybody can. So you don't have to come in with a big amount of followers. You don't have to come in with the perfect pictures. If you don't waste your time, but if you wanted to waste your time, you could go back 4 years and look at my first posts and they're terrible. So you can really start, it's just really having a heart that's willing to put yourself out there and try. And I think a lot of people are really scared of being salesy in this. A lot of people are nervous of being that person on their friends' news feeds. But I always like to think of it as literally, like I just said, like influencing people to live a lifestyle. It's not that we're just pushing a shake or a workout program. Literally everything that we do is so holistic. It's like mind, body, soul, and spirit in so many things. And so it's just sharing what's working. And I could look around my house. I mean, the sweatshirt I'm wearing, I bought because a girl on Instagram that I follow had it, and I thought it was really cute. There's a big sign with a hymn above our piano, and I saw that on Instagram, and I loved it. I have a toothpaste that a friend of mine was talking about, and these are all things that nobody pressured me to buy. I was just influenced by what they were sharing. And so that's the very first thing, is like, you're just going to start sharing your lifestyle, not just your shake, not just your workouts, but kind of the little bits and pieces that help it truly come together. So that's really what we do. Then we help people. We connect them with programs. And if you're familiar with Beachbody, you'll know we have literally hundreds of workouts. And I love Beachbody On Demand because it's sort of like Netflix. And so there's everything from yoga and prenatal workouts and very beginner stuff all the way to like NBA and NFL trainers on there with super intense programs. So there's really something for everybody. And right now, there have been more downloads and workouts done on Beachbody On Demand in the last 2 weeks than there has in the last year, because gyms are closing and things are shutting down. And I really think that what that shows people is that there's such a need right now for exactly what we have. Not to capitalize on people in a really hard season, but just to say, like, we have a solution for what so many people are looking for, whether they can't go to the gym or they're nervous to be in the gym, or maybe they love the gym and just need something like a plan and a program. There's really so many aspects that we have. So as coaches, we have conversations with people. And as they like your posts or engage on your stories or reach out to you, or maybe you reach out to them, kind of asking them like, hey, what are your goals? You know, what do you like? What do you not like? And how can I serve you? And then we work with them getting connected. We run these things called boot camps or challenge groups or virtual fit clubs. There's lots of names for them. But basically, it's a place where we get to plug you in and serve you with motivation and inspiration every day, check in on you. And that is kind of the gist of what we do as coaches. The next layer is what this is, where we help our rockstar challengers become coaches and kind of spread that ripple effect and help you learn how to help people as you've gotten the same results. And so we can kind of keep that ball rolling in a really exciting way. And that's kind of the breakdown. As a coach, especially as a new one, there is a new coach training that we'll plug you into. And we have a really incredible system. We were a top 200 elite team last year out of over 400,000 coaches in the network, which basically is a fancy way of saying that our newest coaches on the team were getting started off really strongly and meeting kind of the minimum benchmarks. There's nothing that's required for you to hit, but the minimum benchmarks that the company sets for income growth and potential, which basically just means that you have the tools to succeed if you want this to grow. And so we have a new coach training site that you'll go through. You're plugged into our mentorship group, and then there's a really cool tracker that you'll get that literally outlines minute by minute exactly what you need to be doing to grow your business. Like, spend 5 minutes here, spend 10 minutes on this. And we train you on that, and we have weekly check-ins and things like that, but it really helps. So Erica, to answer your question about time, I mean, I would love to spend 8 hours a day on this business. I think it's a ton of fun and I really like it. But the truth is, I spend, especially as a new coach, between 30 minutes a day and 2 hours max. And it can be in one chunk or it can be broken up. So for instance, when I was working full time, I would get up a little bit earlier, get my workout done because that's part of my job now, which is great. Take care of myself. I would do a post on social media, maybe check in with some of my challenge group girls, and then I go to work and I take my son to daycare. If I got a lunch break that I could use, which I didn't always, I would answer some emails, maybe send a couple messages, maybe write a social media post for that night that I could use later. Maybe I didn't get that time at all. And then when I came home from work, got Caleb to bed, got everyone fed, instead of sitting down and watching Netflix like I used to with my husband, I would sit, and at least 4 nights a week, I would sit down on the couch and I would work for about an hour or two, depending on the night. And these were conversations that I had with my husband. I wasn't just ignoring him. You know, I'd still sit next to him and he understood what I was doing. I wasn't just thinking around on social media for hours, but I would catch up on a training call that I had missed, or I would connect with people who had engaged on my social media content. And these are all things that will teach you. So it doesn't take a lot of time. it takes a lot of consistency. And where I see coaches really start to stumble is they're not consistent. So it doesn't matter if you spend 3 hours a day on it, if it's every 2 weeks. It's kind of those like little, even if all you have is 30 minutes, just those little pockets of consistency and trusting the process is kind of how it works. As your business grows, you might need more time on it, but by that point, your income should be matching the amount of time that you spend. So 2.5 years into this, I quit my job and I do spend more than an hour a day on it now, but it's my full-time job. So it kind of evens out a little bit in that sense, if that makes sense. I'm going to pick on, let's see here. Actually, do you just want to go Katie and then Abby? Actually, all coaches on here. And then if you want to, Sarah and Katie, just kind of give a little blurb of your story with coaching and kind of some of the highlights or things that you learned so far that would be helpful to know if you were a new coach. I'll make Katie go first because I see you right now. You're in the top of my screen. You're muted. Hold on. There you go.
Hello. Yeah, so I started, well, I had a baby in September, and then when she was 1 month old, I actually started coaching. And then I went to, so I'm a teacher, full-time teacher. And then so in January, I came back from maternity leave and started teaching. And now, weirdly enough, I'm not teaching anymore, but that's not normal. So anyways, yeah, so when your question about time, definitely had to find like the little pockets of my day to work in with baby and full-time teaching. I kind of like very similar to what Abby was saying, just woke up early in the morning to do my workout, and then like little time, I didn't really get breaks because I was pumping during my breaks. But I would like hold the pump with one hand and like follow a couple people in like 10 minutes. And then like, yeah, so I mean, I guess to answer the question about time, like you can really like do it, find time in your day. Like, I don't know, I was probably, 30 minutes to an hour a day is what I was probably spending.
How has coaching kind of changed your life so far? Like what's been a couple takeaways that have really been, in any form, that have been really positive for you?
Oh gosh, this is a hard question for me. Yeah, it's made a huge impact on my life. Weirdly enough, I started it because I want to stay home with my baby. Leaving her for 8 hours a day is like killing me. Crying every Sunday is not fun. So yeah, that's my goal. And but I've gotten a lot more out of it than just that. I would say one of the biggest things I've got out of it is self-confidence. I don't know, it just like sharing my story with other people, and really kind of just being me and showing people like, this is me, you know, take it or leave it kind of thing. It has been really cool to gain self-confidence, and also just having it as a platform to share my faith has been really awesome.
I know you do that really, really well. Thank you, Katie. Abby, you are a brand new coach. You have been a coach for about a month, I think. Yeah. So do you want to just do a super quick little intro and then kind of some of your top takeaways so far of like being literally like brand new?
Of course, yeah, I'd be happy to. So I'm a mom of two, and I have a little girl. She's almost 3, and then my son just turned 9 months. So they keep me really busy. And I am a stay-at-home mom, but I do work part-time as well. But I take my kids to work with me. So I work probably around almost 15 to 20 hours a week with them, and I get to do that, so that's nice. But I always felt kind of like guilty about not like being able to help out with the bills, so that's why I kind of started trying to work part-time. And then my husband and I are trying to buy a house, so I was like, I really want to find some way to do an income as well. So this has been really beneficial to try and do that part, but that wasn't my only reason behind it. I actually had followed Abby on Facebook for a long time, and I actually know her really well. Like, she's known me since I was little. So, but I was kind of almost like afraid to even like comment or like anything, but I was just like so inspired by everything that she was posting. And I've always been one that's really into fitness and wanting to eat healthy and whatnot. And my husband wanted to lose some weight too, and he started on wanting to try this plant-based diet. And so we started into that and tried to do it with him. And I was trying to like piece together workouts on like Amazon Prime and trying to put together these like meals off of Pinterest. And it was just like not working out. And I was always finding excuses to be like, oh, I'm tired, or the kids need me. I'm just going to go and skip this. And after like 2 weeks of trying to do it, I just kind of like fizzled out. And so then after doing the whole coaching stuff, it's just been so nice to have that accountability too. And it gives you just that reason to like want to show up every day. And you just feel so encouraged by all these ladies in this group too. And definitely the personal development has been huge for me, because I've just had some like several things going on in my life lately that I just really needed that. And it's really pushed me to be more open on social media, and just really it's kind of surprised me, like the more that I started sharing about my stuff and my journey, just all the people that were actually sitting there really watching that I never thought would even like bother to pay attention. And it's just really neat, because you're like, okay, this is actually like really encouraging. And I've had so many people just reaching out to me about different things, whether it be recipes or even just activities for their kids, or how to help them with speech development, like just so many different random things that I would have never had before if I never like kept doing that. And so also, plus I was getting so busy, I kept like not having time to like take pictures of my kids or actually be in pictures. And so that's been nice too, because that's kind of helped me to have to stop and say like, oh, I want to capture this moment and I want to share about that. And then it also, I get to share that with my friends and family on social media. And so my benefits are, I just love the fact that there's all these recipes, there's like set meal plans, like I can always go to. I mean, like that's the hardest question like during the day, is like, what's for dinner? Like, and so I'm like always referring back to my stuff. And it's nice when I can sit down and like meal prep for the week and do that, and have my husband be able to have lunches and stuff like that when he goes to work, not have to worry about it. And then I don't know if you have kids at all, but like the energy level that they have is so crazy to keep up with. And I've had so much more energy with that. Or I found that I was so busy during the day that I would like forget to even eat lunch. It would be like 4 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I didn't even eat lunch today. Like, so I love being able to just have like the Shakeology and know that, oh, I'm still getting the nutrition I need, so I can like nurse my baby and feel good about like being able to get him all the nutrients that he needs too. But it's just like boosted my self-esteem, and I'm even noticing like changes like within myself, just trying to get rid of the mom belly that you get from being pregnant. And it's just really difficult to try and overcome like those self-conscious feelings that you have. But I just love being able to get up. I like love the workouts. I love how there's so many options too, and you get to change them all the time and pick whatever is best for you. And I actually enjoy like looking forward to my workouts now, and my kids really get into it too. And so I think it's just a really awesome thing that they can see like me as a role model too, doing that.
Good. You like hit all the points, Abby, and you're the gate. So I love it. No, I love the new excitement. Sarah, I'm gonna pick on you. Oh, hi, you buddy. If it's not a good time to talk, no worries. But because I'm recording this, I would love to hear a little bit of your, like, as a personal trainer coming in as a coach. That's something that I think is really unique, and I would love to hear kind of your perspective if you're able to talk. If not, that's totally fine. She is so cute. Oh my gosh. I can unmute you. There you go.
Yeah, I can try to talk here. The other three are upstairs, so Okay, so yes, as Abby said, I used to be a personal trainer, and then I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids, 8 and under. So as far as so was always a gym person, but with 4 kids and now I'm a single mom now. I was not I wasn't taking care of myself as I should, and that I was feeling that. And then also getting into the gym was just not happening. So for me, this kind of, for several reasons, just hope as far as having some income to stay home with my kids still. That's still a dream of mine. And a big driving force of why I'm doing this. And then also, it's just really held me accountable in my workouts and nutrition, which has been a big, for me, just helped me with my mindset a lot. I talk about that a lot, how it's not just to lose weight or just that part of things or even have more energy, but just the mindset part of things when you work out is huge. So that's been really good. And then just to get back into, I really enjoy, I mean, it was what I used to do and I went to college for it, just to teach people how to live healthy lifestyles. I love that. That's always been something I've loved. So having a way to do that, but still be home, and being healthy myself again, have all been really good things. So, yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. Super helpful. Kate, you're another relatively recent coach. Actually, I'm going to pick on you for a topic since we're recording this, because you started, and one of the biggest objections that a lot of coaches will have are nerves is like, well, I'm not at my goals yet. And you have crushed that completely as I'm talking to you as you're walking, because you started not at your goal weight, and coaching I know has been a huge catalyst to that. So I would love if you just want to touch really briefly on kind of how that has gone for you, sharing your journey as you kind of have gotten more in shape. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Sorry, bless my husband. He just popped out of the bedroom and was trying to talk to me right when you started that. So I had to run to my daughter's room. Hold on. I'm live right now, babe. I'm on a call. What? I'm on a call. It's being recorded.
I can pick on someone else.
You're good. I'm done. He went to do his workout and then he came back out. But yeah, so coaching for me has been a long time coming. I have known Abby for a really, 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 really long time, like since we were like 4. So we have grown together. I watched her entire journey. I jumped in and was a challenger and a discount coach for quite a while, actually right before my husband and I met. Being a challenger and going through the process of weight loss in that time caused me to have the confidence that I needed, which in turn, I'm now married to the man that I met in that process, that the Lord just truly used Abby and being a challenger to make those things happen in my life. Fast forward, I had a very traumatic birth experience and postpartum depression set in after my daughter was born 2 years ago. Yeah, she's like 2 and 3 months. So after that, I had gotten back down to that weight, and had to go on a lot of different medications for that. And in that time, I gained more weight than I'd ever gained before. So for me, my health had taken a very, very big drop. I was at my worst of my worst. I literally had gone to the hospital, and they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And in that time, after the hospital, when they figured it out, and was laying in bed till 4 a.m, wide awake with a fever, laying there and just knowing, I'm like, okay, I need to do this and I need to be a coach. because I need that accountability, and I want something that I can pour into other people. Because due to my health, I had to come home full-time, which I wanted to be a full-time mom, but financially we weren't ready for it. So I'd been trying to do little things here and there, and things just weren't working out. So for me, I needed something where I can be with my kids. I have to be at home because my autoimmune disorder, and I wanted to have something of my own that I could pour into other people, because that's what I've done my whole life and I wasn't able to. So making that decision at the end of January has changed my life. I have dropped 10 pounds and 29 inches off of my body in the last 7, 8 weeks. And it's incredible. The amount of energy I have is different. My inflammation levels are down. Truly just being able to keep up with my daughter. But most importantly for my health, my mind is in a completely different place from the community that I share with these ladies that I coach and that I coach alongside and that I call my coworkers and friends. My mental health is night and day difference. I have bad days, but I know that I have someone alongside me the whole time. And 10 out of 10 times they pull me up and we encourage and build each other up. So my mental health has gone from a dark, dark place of hopelessness and just being done to a place of joy and encouragement and life. And I'm so overflowing that I just have to pour it into other people, which coaching gives me that outlet to just build each other up. And so for me, the physical has been incredible. The mental and emotional has been even more so. My community has grown so much because I had to move away from my community when I got married. So now I went from having like 2 friends to having like 200 friends that I know have my back every day. So, and then now 2 months into it, a little slow progression for me, but I'm starting to see that financial benefit as well. And for me, having to come home with unexpectedly for my health and not being able to contribute, and I had to leave a medical job that was significant income, full benefits, like retirement plan and all of that. And in an instant, because my health, it was gone. And because of that and my amazing husband's support, I now have something that I'm able to start contributing back in buying groceries, in buying the quarantine crafts that I need that are causing like good things and good development in my kids. So I am just super blessed. Like, I know that was a long roundabout way to get at that question, but that's what has been on my heart all day. So for me, coaching has completely changed my life. And it took time for me. I knew that when I first started, I wasn't ready. And, you know, Abby has always told me, when you're ready, you'll know. I knew I was ready. Literally before I talked to her, I went in and I signed up. So for me, I knew that it's something that would change my life if I chose to do it and if I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And it has changed my life. And so I wish I wouldn't have waited so long. But for me, I knew it was the right timing. So I don't know. There's no negative to trying it. The only negative is that you're going to get healthier and you're going to gain friends. So, which it ultimately is a positive. So I'm one who encourages everyone, if you even have an inkling, try it. Just jump in. You get the discount. You get the friends. You get the encouragement. But this can really change your life if you want it to. So that's my spiel. Weight-wise, I'm almost done with bar. I'm so excited to jump into 10 rounds and to push myself outside of my bubble because my body's been reacting good to bar because of the change, and that's something that I've done before. And I've done boxing in the past, and I'm really excited for it. So I know that my results are going to be killer, and I'm super excited for that. And that's my little plug on that one because I'm super excited. So does that answer everything, Abs?
Yeah, that was this is great. I'm so glad I'm recording this, guys. You're gonna make me cry over here. And I think that like the theme that always comes up for everybody is there's so many different ways. I think a lot of us start for one reason and then it ends up becoming so many other things. I remember telling my husband, when I started as a coach, I was really scared. I didn't even tell him for like 3 weeks that I was thinking about it, introvert over here. And then when I finally worked up the nerve to tell him, he read through all the policies and procedures and he's like a finance guy. And he's like, this is awesome. I totally believe in you. And I told him, I was like, I'm going to go in all in for 3 months. And whatever my coach says to do, even if it makes me want to puke, I will do it. And then at the end of that, if I hate it, I'll at least know I gave it a legit effort. And obviously I didn't quit after 3 months, but the thing that kept me here was the community and the mindset stuff. And I came in for the income and the fitness stuff. And it's just been like the sweetest surprise. So Megan, I'm going to totally put you on the spot really quick. If there's anything you want to share, I know you've had a really cool, I think, and a unique journey with coaching, just with your postpartum journey. Kind of, you started as a coach, then got pregnant right away and kind of coached through pregnancy and now the 2 under 2 life. So I don't know if you kind of have thoughts on that. I think we're similar in the sense that we both love our children, but don't necessarily want to be stay-at-home moms. And this has kind of provided something. So do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I think that for me, I have always struggled like sharing my journey to coaching or whatnot, just because so many people that I talk to are like, I'm coaching because I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I feel like I'm coaching because I am a stay-at-home mom, and I don't want that to sound negative in any way. But I need an outlet. I like to work. I like to be involved with other people's lives. I like to talk to other people. I'm not necessarily like super extroverted, but I do like that interaction. And so for me, coaching has just been such a positive outlet as far as like, okay, I get to stay at home with my kids, and I'm so thankful for that because I would not want anybody else raising my kids, and I do not want to take them to daycare. However, I need something for me. And so coaching allows me to have that. And I think that's like the greatest thing that I can say about it for me, on top of the community and the accountability and the income and all of that. Like case in point, last year, we moved back to Oregon, and we were here for like 4 days, and I applied for a part-time bartending job because I wanted something outside of the house. And this was before I really dove into coaching. And so I didn't really know what like the community and what hole that could fill for me, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, I did jump into coaching. I was newly postpartum. I think I was 3 months postpartum. And then kind of worked through my postpartum journey and really enjoyed having a clear path and like plan to follow. Got probably the leanest that I've been since college basketball, which, I mean, you're working out 3 hours a day for 7 days a week pretty much for that. So felt really good about where I was physically, and then got pregnant again. And so working through postpartum journey number 2 and juggling 2 under 2 life. And it's just been so fun, but also very humbling.
That's awesome. No, that's perfect. And I think it is like, I'm the same, just having that outlet. So before I wrap up, I want to kind of go over briefly, and I will give you guys who are on this call or watching this call a link to like a little coach info site that has some more FAQs, but just kind of as an overview of a couple things I think are really important to know. The first thing is, it's the kind of the beauty of coaching is you can do this, and you've heard a lot of different stories on here, but there's no quotas and there's no requirements. As a coach, you can literally be a coach just for the discount. And we have lots of girls on our team who just want to be a part of a community, who like the 25% coaching discount and don't really have any intention of building a business. You can be a hobby coach, which would be someone who you're loving the products and maybe you're sharing them periodically, or your mom or your sister or best friend want to jump in, but you're not necessarily leading groups or building a business. You just kind of reap the benefits now and again of the commission, because you get a 25% commission on anything that comes from your link. So that would be sort of a hobby coach, kind of you're loving doing it, but don't really want to build it any bigger. And then there would be coaches who are actually almost all the coaches on this call, which makes sense, who are wanting to build this into something bigger, who are wanting to grow this into a full-time income, hit top leadership ranks, things like that. And this business really has room for everybody. And when you jump into our training, I will give you all the resources. If you want to be a top 10 coach, you will have those things, but there's no pressure. You can kind of decide how you want to do your business there. Like I mentioned, you get a 25% discount and a 25% commission on everything. We get paid every Thursday, which is really great. I love it. And that's a really fun perk. And then as a coach, there's also a lot of fun perks that you can earn outside of income. So our kind of base goal as working coaches is called Success Club. And it's basically connecting with and helping 3 new people every single month. So as a brand new coach for me, that was like my best friend from college, my dad actually, and another friend from college. And so oftentimes your very first clients, because everyone's always like, well, do I have to sell to my family and friends? No. But usually you're just like, hey, I'm starting this bar program or this boxing program. Do you want to jump in and do it with me? I could use some extra accountability. Just not being weird, like just literally approaching people that you know and being like, hey, I would love if you want to do this with me. You've probably seen me post about it. So those are your kind of your very first customers. And then as you grow your business, one of the things that you'll learn is to start making broader connections, to start connecting with other people that maybe you don't actually know in real life, and to start kind of bringing them in, which is really, really cool. And so every month you do that, you can earn special prizes. I'm super motivated by prizes. It's kind of dumb, but in college, I was the girl who would do the stupid like ice swim in the winter for the free sweatshirt. Like, I love getting prizes in the mail. It's a lot of fun. You can earn free vacations for your family. So every single year that I've been a coach, we've earned a free trip to places like Dominican Republic, Mexico, cruises. I know Megan and I, hopefully coronavirus is over by next year, going to Mexico next year with our families. You're still registered for that, right? You should check. Yeah. Okay. So those are really just fun perks. You don't have to go on them. I've been able to travel to Nashville, New Orleans, LA, Florida, like all over. And again, these are not required trips, but different retreats or leadership opportunities. And honestly, it's really fun just to be able to go out and connect with people. I used to travel a lot for work, and I hated leaving my kids, but I really liked that part of my job. And so it's fun to have that outlet for myself to do. So there's a lot of other perks that kind of come in outside of the income piece. And then the biggest opportunities in this is doing exactly what this is, which is connecting with other women who are, or guys, mostly other women, who are interested in doing this same thing. And one of the things that I love about being a coach is that I earn residual income, the stuff that comes in from not necessarily just connecting someone with Beachbody On Demand, by mentoring and helping other women succeed and hit their goals. And that's one of the biggest bonus pieces in terms of just like other income coming in, is really helping these gals hit their income goals, helping mentor them and making sure they're succeeding. So as a coach on our team, you have a very vested tribe looking out for you and making sure that you have the resources that you need to do what you want to do. So there's never pressure, but it just makes it kind of a cool little perk that we all grow together in that sense of the word. So that's sort of how the income structure is set up. We've gone over time management. I think a lot of the other big questions that come up oftentimes are fears of what people are going to say and what people are going to do. And that one, I always just bring it back to like, they don't live in my body, and they don't raise my kids, and they don't pay my bills. And while I am all for wise counsel and, you know, taking people's words seriously, at the same point, I know why I'm doing this. I believe that this is a ministry opportunity that God has given me. This has been an incredible benefit to my life in so many different ways, and I will boldly share it. And if someone wants to judge me for that, like, that's their issue. So I know that kind of sounds harsh, but that's where I'm at now. It's just like, I love this, and I know it's not the solution to the world's problems, but it was an answer to a lot of the things that I struggled with, and I know there's other gals out here who need it. So I'll continue to share that. So I don't know if that's just where my mind is on that one. It doesn't take a ton of time. It just is that consistency piece. And then I think that might be all. Oh, the other big question that I get oftentimes is having success if you don't have a transformation yet. And I think Kate touched on that. But one of the things that I always love to tell people is that the most inspiring part of your journey is not the before and after. It's the messy middle. It's the part where people see you show up and fight through sleepless nights of babies or crazy time or, you know, you have the ice cream and they know you did, and then that doesn't send you into a downward spiral until next January. Like, showing people the real life and letting people see your real struggles and battles, and that makes the transformations that you share much more inspiring because they've seen the journey. And it's not just this like unattainable perfection of like, well, she did it. They've seen that whole process for you. And encourage coaches, like, you don't have to have that transformation. Your journey is your story, and that's your power. And it's a really beautiful thing. So you don't have to start. It's just that willingness to start showing up and sharing. Do you have, Erica, we're recording this for other people, but you are on. Do you have questions on anything that we've talked about? I know you got to hear a lot. I'll unmute you. There you go.
Not too many questions right now. Like, I have never had an Instagram account. Is that something you feel is really important?
No, I think I love Instagram now, but I built my business for 2 years only on Facebook. So I always tell people both are great. Pick one or the other as you're a new coach starting out, and then you can kind of expand to another way. I always like to think of like, where are your people? So if you feel like most of your people are on Facebook, then that is a great place to stay. I know for me, I felt like more of my people were on Instagram, which is kind of why I made that switch. But it's not a pro or a con necessarily. You can definitely grow a business on Facebook. I think Instagram, the Instagram stories are really fun, and not as many people watch Facebook stories. And then on Instagram, it's just a little bit easier, I think, to expand your network, because on Facebook, it oftentimes you stay with the people that you actually know. It's weird to get a friend request from someone you've literally never heard from. If it's like a couple degrees removed, it's like, oh, I get that, but like some random person. Where on Instagram, just the way the platform is set up, so many people are just searching hashtags of like healthy dinner ideas or mom life things that you can kind of gain followers in a little bit easier way, I think. But definitely you can start with Facebook, and you can even hang out there and stay there as a new coach. So not limited.
And do most of you use your main Facebook page for coaching, or do you make a separate Facebook page for specifically fitness and nutrition?
I think all of us use the main one, right? Everyone? I think also, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of us either started a new Instagram account or kind of tweaked ours to be just a business one. Is that fair to say for most of us when we did Instagram? Yeah. But like, I do all of mine on Facebook, and then I will make posts public or private depending. So like anything that's my kids, I have it be only my friends can see. If it's something that's just like me working out or whatever, I don't care who sees that, so that's public. That makes sense. Anything else?
I can't think of anything else right now.
Well, I'm so glad you jumped on. And guys, I will share this recording with all of you, so we'll just have it. I appreciate you being on tonight. Erica, I sent you a message with the link to the little coaching site I mentioned, and we just are grateful you were on this call. And then guys, I just want to thank you guys for sharing everything on a Friday night, kind of spur of the moment. So I will go ahead and end this, and we'll talk soon. Bye.